Hello everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to Road America, one of the most demanding circuits in North America for week 4 of, we're way into it now, aren't we? Yeah, week 7 of the, week 6, I'm completely wrong here, aren't we, of the iRacing Porsche Cup. Well, that was a disastrous start, wasn't it? Adam Bath here with Conrad Venter, and Conrad straight from the Nürburgring 24 hours where it probably went as well as my intro, Conrad, didn't it?
I think your intro went a little bit better than ours did, to be honest with you.
But yeah, Road America, 6.4 kilometers, 14 corners, and some parts of the track not really too much runoff area as well. So the drivers are going to have their wits about them in this 25-minute race we've got coming up.
Yeah, it should be an interesting race. There's it's a great circuit and lots of overtaking space. So we'll see how everybody performs, and hopefully we're in for a bit of a cracker.
It can only get better from here. Let's run you through the championship standings then going into this race meeting. Maxime Briant, he's the second division driver, but he leads the overall championship ahead of Sindre Sass, and then Tommy Osgaard in third with Bruno Fontalba fourth, Joseph Burton Harris in fifth, sixth Mark McDonald, seventh Michael Parsons, Division 3 driver, where he's up there at the top of the overall standings. Fevzi Kanos can in 8th, and then Piotr Tomayek in 9th, and then in 10th place it is John Sullivan. And you have to go down to 13th place to find the first of the World Championship drivers there. Manuel Sanchez, the Iberian driver, the first of them. We have got a pro driver in the field today, and that is David Williams. So one to watch there, but at the moment, one name that we do see that seems to crop up quite a bit on our Porsche broadcasts, Conrad, is Joni Heikkinen. He's currently sitting on provisional pole.
Yeah, the Finns have established themselves in the top half, or the top 10 in the standings, and we've missed them over the last week or two. So they used to occupy the top 5, but a couple of other people have got their noses in there now.
Drivers currently on their qualifying. They don't have to worry about any traffic. They have 2 laps on their own to try and set a time, and if you pick up an off track or anything like that, or have problems like Hankin Guven is having, then you're going to find yourself starting towards the rear of the field. And from what we've seen so far this season, Conrad, if you're starting down the order, you've really got your work cut out working your way forward, no matter what track we're racing on.
Yeah, overtaking can be really difficult in this car. We've seen it multiple times before that the slipstream doesn't really have an effect, so you're really relying on the guy in front of you to make a mistake in order to facilitate that pass.
Well, one thing that should help the drivers here is that we've got quite a few long straights here at Road America. We've got the long uphill stretch to turn 1, and then we've got after turn 3, which really is turn 2, but that's another rant for another day, the run down the back straight towards a turn 4, and it's downhill as well, so the driver should be able to pick up quite a bit of speed on the car in front. Now 90-degree left-hander at the end of the back straight, Conrad. It's good for overtaking, but some drivers they can overestimate the corner sometimes and end up having a collision with either the car in front or going off into the gravel.
Yeah, sort of. I think they class it as turn 5, that left-hander, but it's on a, like you said, it's on a downhill, and really easy for the car to get loose as well.
Let me through the grid then as we get ready to start the race. It's a standing start, of course, and due to the long nature of the lap, it is going to be 11 laps here. Don't have to worry about pit stops at all, but the drivers will have to worry about getting it off the line in just over 90 seconds time. Joni Heikkinen starts on pole position, Tommy Osgaard second, third David Williams with Hankin Guven in fourth, fifth is Vedran Kral with Kim Eriksson in sixth, 7th is Jack Sedgwick, 8th is Joseph Burton Harris, 9th Bruno Fontalba, and 10th Oriol Bohe, and then 11th is Maxime Briant, 12th is Alejandro Sanchez, 13th is Sindre Sass, one of the guys running up the top of the standings, Fevzi Kanos can in 14th, 15th Dimitri Gorski, and then in 16th it is Pierre Leonardi with 17th Luka Petronic, 18th Martin Smith, 19th Jorge Blascavels, Jonathan Boutel in 20th, and then Milian Rue Alexandre in 21st, and then at the back it is Petteri Kosovara, who didn't set a time in the qualifying session. And we have Finnish drivers ping and tailing the 22 car grid.
Pecho Cotavara is really a bit of a surprise to see him all the way back there. He's going to have a bit of a job on his hands. Hopefully, sadly I missed last week's broadcast as it was on a bit of a holiday, but hopefully we don't have a start like we did at Brands Hatch, where turn 2 incident and just about half the field got taken out.
We were at the Nordschleife last week. Surprisingly clean around there. We had 3 laps of racing. What's going to happen though in these 11 laps here? 28 degrees air temperature, 29 degrees. It's a cloudy day here. But here come the lights then. Ready to go for the iRacing Porsche Cup.
Green, green, green.
And we're underway. Good start from Heikkinen away from the line. Tommy Osgaard's going to immediately slot into second and cover off David Williams. Williams has a good second phase of the start here and could try around the outside into the first corner. 90-degree right-hander, and he might have the racing line here, but Tommy Osgaard late on the brakes, and now David Williams is under pressure from Vedran Kral, and Williams almost forced onto the grass there on the exit, and Vedran Kral through into third.
Big incident at the back, yes. So looks like we've got Bohe, Burton Harris and Petchenich were all involved in that.
Well, that's, I was just looking back at it now, that's a disaster for Joseph Burton Harris. Was riding inside the top 5 in the championship standings, and who started it all off? I think it was Joseph Burton Harris.
Yeah, just looking at the replay, all we can really see is
kicked off before we even got to turn 1 actually. Who was it that got on the grass? I think it might have been Montalva possibly? No, it was the car behind. It was Alejandro Sanchez that kicked it all off.
It's a pretty fast corner after the start of the race here at Road America, and it's very often that you see some kind of incident on the opening lap, in whichever series it is.
The driver's now going through the carousel at turn 9 and on the exit turn 10 before we head to the Kink, one of the most famous corners on this circuit, and already Joni Heikkinen 8/10 of a second lead over second place man Vedran Kral. Was able to get past Guven while we were looking back at the replays at the start. Guven now in third, Tommy Osgaard down 2 positions to 4th after starting on the front row. Not sure he get a position back into Canada corner. Not close enough to get a move done there, but Tommy Osgaard there of the Apex Academy car, and Alejandro Sanchez up the order as well. Looks like he managed to escape pretty much unscathed after kicking off the chain of events in the first corner, and he's had a good race so far. Conrad, he's already a good first lap. He's up to 10th position.
Yeah, I was one of the pretty lucky to escape any major damage there. And speaking of damage, it looks like Tommy Osgaard is carrying some front end damage. So he must have made contact with somebody somewhere on this first lap.
Over the line then to complete the first lap. It's Heikkinen leading Vedran Kral by 7/10, but then you've got this 5-car train being headed by Guven in
somebody's
third.
around. Sanchez, no.
It's Ericsson. Kim Ericsson, purple and black Porsche car, into the first corner, loses the rear, and is just able to stop it from doing a complete 180 on him. But now he's way down the order. He's got going again in about 19th place.
Yeah, he's down into 19th place. That really cost him badly. Managed to keep it out of the wall though. Only thing that's going to be damaged there is his pride and his ego, possibly.
But yeah, he was in 7th place at the start of the lap. Bohe, another of the cars that was involved in the contact at the start, already gained some positions back. He just passed Jonathan Boutel there going into turn 5 at the end of the Moraine sweep. He's going to be trying to work his way through the order, but back to that train that's near the front. Hank Guven leading them round, then it's Osgaard, then it's David Williams, and then it's Jack Sedgwick in 6th position. David Williams, of course, pro driver at the VRS, I should say, livery on the car. And then behind him it's Maxime Briant, and then Bruno Fontalba, Alejandro Sanchez, and Sundre Setsas running a bit wide there on the exit of the Kink, and Fevsikan Oskan and Pierre Leonardi in 13th. That's another of the 2 battle packs we've got on the track at the moment.
Yeah, I have to say Heikkinen and Vedran Kral is checked out a little bit. They are separated by just under a second, but then that Guven train is just starting to lose a little bit of track position to the front running two.
Is anything going to give in this Guven train? However, well, one thing looks like it might is that David Williams is right with Tommy Osgaard now. Conrad did say that Osgaard is possibly nursing a bit of damage on the car, and up the inside goes David Williams, and that should be fourth position into the first corner. Osgaard's not giving up though. He's going to hold it out around the outside through well, apparently it's turn 2, that small kink there, and into turn 3, and it looks like that David Williams has finally got the position. But one thing we have seen here, Conrad, is that Guven has been able to pull away a little bit now, and it doesn't look like this battle's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, I think Osgaard is going to have to fight really hard. That front end damage he's got, I think it's going to cost him more speed loss due to aerodynamics than anything else.
Well, we're only starting the third lap now, and the lap times are starting to come in. Last time around, Kral 207.355, 207.6 for Guven, 207.7 for David Williams. Now that he's got clear of Tommy Osgaard, he might be able to set a quicker lap time. But now that Tommy Osgaard's settled behind the VRS Porsche 911, he might be able to try and hang with him. Things starting to slowly take shape here at Road America. We've got 8.5 laps to go in this race here on Apex Racing TV on a Monday night, and I hope you've had a good weekend. And yeah, the iRacing Nürburgring 24 hours taking place at the weekend, but we're now in the iRacing Porsche Cup at Road America, Elkhart Lake, 6.4 kilometres, 14 corners, and are heading up to turn 12 now, Canada corner. Another of the key overtaking spots on the circuit, Conrad.
Yeah, it's very difficult though. Those braking markers you've got on your left hand side as you come into the corner is really small, and you miss one of them or get confused while you're trying to overtake a car, and it ends up in the gravel, possibly a bunch of tires. Just watching Van Talbot coming under a little bit of pressure from Sanchez, Alejandro Sanchez. Let's come through the final corner.
Yeah, pretty close those two. Probably running as close as we can expect them to. Guven's not too far away from David Williams, or should that be David Williams isn't too far away from Hank and Guven. Last time around the 2:02, 6 tenths of a second quicker than Guven. So David Williams on it now that he's been able to get past Tommy Osgaard, and it might not be too long before he becomes another victim, Hank and Guven, of David Williams. Onto the back straight we go. Through turn 4, yes, that is a corner on this Road America circuit, and into turn 5 at the end of the back straight through the Moraine sweep. And there was a huge incident here in a Ferrari challenge race at Road America. Ferrari flying into that catch fencing on the outside, but the Porsche is able to negotiate it a lot cleaner than that car was able to. Through a quick section of corners, now turn 6 and now into turn 7. On the way to Hurry Downs, this quick straight here, and into turn 8. It's 90-degree left before the long carousel, and we see the Porsches having issues with following the car in the dirty air, Conrad. It must be pretty horrendous going through the carousel here if you've got a car right in front of you. Yeah,
I imagine they're sitting there and just praying for some front-end grip to help them come through the corner. But David Williams, Tommy Osgaard, Jack Sedgwick doing a pretty good job at sticking to the back of Guven at the moment. And Williams has managed to pull those two with him right up to the back of the third place man. And Guven just going a little bit defensive. Williams biding his time, might have a little look as they come into turn 1.
You can see how close they were to running onto the grass on the exit of the kink. Barely any runoff area at all, just a concrete wall almost inviting you into it, especially if you get the line wrong on entry. But here we go, out of the final corner. Also turn 14, the aptly named Road America Straight. Over the line we go, 230 kilometers per hour we were just hitting there. Now Guven's going to have to go on the defensive. David Williams is going to try and get the move done around the outside here. Is he going to be late on the brakes? Guven's going to go in very early, but he's going to surely get a good cut back here, David Williams, and that should be his position. Guven's moving across though, and he's just able to stop David Williams getting up the inside, but this is now inviting Tommy Osgaard back into the picture here as we go out of turn 3 and onto the back straight here. Guven's still leading this train, Williams almost bump drafting him as we go down the back straight here, 2 by 2.
Yeah, and if things aren't busy enough for this lot fighting for third place, you've got Maxime Brienne closing up to them, making use of those brand new flashing headlights on his Porsche.
Britain then up into Jack Sedgwick, I should say, has just got past Tommy Osgaard. I did see an overtake happening there at turn 5, and yeah, Jack Sedgwick, another position gain for him, already 2 positions gained since the start of the race. And now you've got to say that Hank Guven is holding up this pack after it started to kick off just a little bit, going through the first few corners of this lap 5, not too far away from half distance. In fact, we are at half race distance, we're halfway around lap 5, and through the carousel we go at turns 9 and 10. And now David Williams has got it all to think about again. He was very quick through the final sector of the lap. See what he can do through the kink. Can he try and get a run on Guven? Guven does another impeccable line through there. In fact, so does everyone else behind him. Just running onto that curve on the exit. And Williams now needs to have a good Thunder Valley section here, so that he can try and set him up down the front straight again.
It just goes to show as well, the moment these guys start fighting with each other, how much time they are actually dropping. Because Icon and Kroll is now 5 seconds clear of them, and that train is rapidly getting bigger.
Seems to be a trait of this car in general, really, or this style of racing with the Porsches. Last few races we've been to, that has been the case, where you do lose an incredible amount of time if you start battling with the car either in front of you or behind you. Here comes Williams again. Look at the straight line speed that he's got. Obviously that is a good setup from a pro driver. Into the first corner, a bit of dust already kicked up from the cars in front, but David Williams is going to try and get the cut back perfected. This time he nearly has it done, but it's a repeat of the last lap, and Hank Guven able to protect that inside line. And now Jack Sedgwick threatens to spoil David Williams' party here as there's contact in the back. That's Alejandro Sanchez involved in another collision with this time Sindre Setsas. Well, here they go down the back straight, and here comes David Williams trying to go around the outside, and Jack Sedgwick trying to make it 3 wide going into the 90-degree left. And up the inside of Tommy Osgaard has gone, well, he was trying to, and Osgaard is around and also collected by Bruno Fontalva. It's all kicking off here, but it carries on up the hill under the Corvette bridge. David Williams around the outside. Loads of incidents happening, and with this one might have a messy ending as well. Onto the grass goes Guven, trying to rescue the car, nearly comes back and collects Jack Sedgwick. One of the few cars remaining after a whole load of stuff has happened on this lap. Guven back up the inside into turn 8, and finally Conrad, it all settles down. Yeah,
there's a bit of door rubbing between Guven and Williams as well, as they were coming out of turn 5. But I feel Sedgwick is we're familiar with Sedgwick, and he's gonna be a little bit more aggressive, I feel, than David Williams was when the overtake comes.
Well, Tommy Osgaard has retired from, well, has gone back to the pits. He's towed back to the pits, in fact, so the car must have picked up a serious amount of damage after getting hit not once but twice at the end of the back straight. Other cars are in the pits, Martin Smith and Joseph Burton Harris. And Tommy Osgaard has actually exited the session, so that is his race done for the day. And I'll quickly just head back and see what happened with Alejandro Sanchez, who's now up to 8th position. 4 positions gained, but like a bit of contact with Setsas, the Scandinavian driver, at turn 3. Oh, he went up the inside, and Alejandro. Yeah, I don't know whether he's going to be having to I think get the disguise on when he's leaving Road America, because there's going to be a few drivers waiting for him. Right then, lap 7 of the race. Oriol Bohe is having a battle with Setsas here. Setsas trying to get some positions back after that contact with Alejandro Sanchez just a lap ago. We're on lap 7 of 11 now, into the second half of the race. And after a slow start, which seems to be the case in these Porsche races, Conrad, it slowly starts to come alive as the race winds on.
Yeah, it's something we used to see in the Grand Prix series, as Bohe gets that position. He's up into is it just past Valls?
Oh, he was passed, I think, by Setsas there. That was Bohe losing a position, I think.
Yeah, Setsas, sorry, up into 12th place, Bohe down into 13th place. Like I was going to say, it's something we saw in the Grand Prix series quite often when we covered that a couple of seasons ago. It's a bit of a slow burner, especially around this track. Takes a lot out of the tyres, and it's usually in the second half of the race where things start coming alive.
Is that because the tyres take a bit of a time to get up to temperature in these Porsche 911s, or is it just the drivers trying to find their feet in the early going?
We've got sort of cloudy conditions, so I assume it would have taken a couple of laps for the tyres to come up to pressure. But I mean, with the corners you've got here, like the carousel and a couple of these fast corners, they do take a lot out of the tyres, and you do start struggling towards the end of the race a little bit. So it's just about who can manage those worn tyres the best.
That's start lap 8 of the race. 4 laps to go at the line. And what other battles have we got going on the track at the moment? David Williams isn't pulling away too far away from Hank and Guven. Guven slowly starting to get back up to the rear of this, the pro driver, David Williams. Williams back up to 3rd position, which was where he started, of course. Guven also started in 4th position, but Guven trying to advance his spots here, and he's got a good run on the exit of turn 3. Just a few laps ago, looked like he was the slower car out of him and David Williams. But now Conrad Williams is having to go on a defensive here down the back straight. Guven slowly to start trying to get the move done, and he's going to go for it actually up the inside here. Is he going to make the corner though?
I reckon he might overshoot that, and so he does. Well, he goes a little bit airborne as well. That's not going to help the underside of the car, and Sedgwick is going to have a little look. Pushes Guven out wide. Sedgwick is through Guven over the grass in the background.
Well, that was the Vitaly Petrov line, I think, on the exit of turn 5, and yeah, Guven loses the position as a result, down to 5th place now. And yeah, Jack Sedgwick, another position gains for him, up to 4th. Really starting to pick off these positions here, and most of them are down to drivers battling in front of him or going off. He's still having a good race, though, Jack Sedgwick, and the British driver on number 9, already in 3 positions, started in 7th on the grid, now finds himself in 4th and just 1 spot off the podium. However, the driver in front of him is David Williams, the pro driver with the VRS branding on the car, and he's going to have his work cut out trying to get that spot off the podium, on the podium off David Williams. So not too much time to do it either. When we get to the line, there will be 3 laps to go as Guven puts 2 wheels onto the dirt on the exit of Bill Mitchell Bend at turn 13, and through turn 14 onto the front straight again, and building up the speed to 240 plus kilometers per hour in these flat 6 Porsche 911s.
We might see Sanchez putting Fontalba under a little bit of pressure coming into turn 1. He's going to have a look up the inside. Easily makes the easily makes the pass, but he's off. And he's going to have nearly collects the wall there.
Eating up all the gravel on the exit there of turn 1, and yeah, Alejandro Sanchez tried to get a move done on Bruno Fontalba, and it didn't go at all well, and sums up, I think, the attempts of his moves today. Tried, of course, was one of the main instigators in the turn 1 collision, which collected quite a few cars. As up the inside of that is Guven getting passed by Maxime Briant. However, it hasn't worked at all well. Contact, the 2 cars rub door handles there on the exit of turn 5, and Hank and Guven back up the inside under the Corvette bridge, but this has just allowed Bruno Fontalba back into this battle now. Going through Thunder Valley at turns, Hurry Downs I should say, at turn 7, into turn 8, the 90-degree left-hander before the carousel, and now we've got a 4-car train on our hands here. Guven leading them around, then it's Maxime Briant in the red and white car, and in the red car with the black stripe on the bonnet, that's Bruno Fontalba, the French driver. 2 French drivers in fact, Maxime Briant and Bruno Fontalba, and then Alejandro Sanchez, the Iberian driver, hasn't wasted any time coming and closing back up to him after his quick trip through the gravel.
Yeah, and it was just a question of Guven and Briant going at it for about 3 or 4 corners, and that's how much time they sacrificed by doing it.
And it's a corner then. Really, you've got to make. Really, the driver in front of you has got to make a mistake if you want to get a move done there. It is easy to do through the kink. But yeah, Alejandro Sanchez up into 7th position. He's finally been able to get past Bruno Fontalba. In fact, Fontalba is now under pressure from Persikan Ozcan, who has gained 5 positions, one of the biggest movers through the field actually. That honour does go to Pierre Leonardi, who's gained 6 positions so far, but he is the biggest mover. Biggest loser is Kim Eriksson, down 8 positions into 14th place after that spin in the first corner, which he did all on his own. Finnish driver, and yeah, he will be hoping for better things in the future with the next race meeting.
I think Maxim Brent and Guven is getting themselves ready for round 2 into turn 5.
Yeah, here they come out of turn 3 onto the back straight through turn 4. In fact, it's actually looking a bit exciting just in front of them as well. Jack Sedgwick and Dale Williams pretty close to each other as we start the penultimate lap. No change in position there, going into the left-hander at turn 5, but round the outside goes Brilliant, but outbreaks himself, and this allows Alejandro Sanchez the opportunity to get another position. Under the Corvette bridge, he goes for it, up the inside, and Maxime Brilliant, he couldn't really do anything there, Conrad. That was a dive bomb move, and it paid off brilliantly there for Alejandro Sanchez, up to 6th.
Yeah, it's a bit of opportunism, and very well done as well. But it's got to be so frustrating trying to make an overtake and then getting overtaken yourself in the process. Because he just, Brian just essentially doubled his workload there.
You could see Brilliant had to dart back out of the way the moment he saw Sanchez flying up the inside, and Sanchez actually gives him a thanks message on the iRacing chat because of that. Otherwise that would have been another collision. And Sanchez now up into 6th place, 6 positions gained. He's now the joint highest gainer in the field, and we're not too far away from starting the final lap of the race. It's been a textbook drive from Joni Heikkinen, 2 second lead, 2.1 second lead I should say, of a veteran Krell. It's not looked back since the start of the race. However, the battle for the podium is definitely still not over. Through the final corner we go then, up the hill, through turn 14 and onto the Road to America straight. Evan Williams trying to hold on to a spot on the podium here, 3rd position. He started on the grid, and a problem. He's slowing down. He's blown the engine. What was going on there?
There's the smoke.
And side by side in front of him, here they come. It's Guven versus Alejandro Sanchez. Sanchez round the outside of Guven here. Looks like Guven may have been trying to defend the inside going into the first corner, and Sanchez, he's trying to turn into turn 3. A lock up there from Guven. He slides on the exit, and they both slide in fact as they go onto the back straight. But Sanchez is through into 4th place.
There's going to be a big winner, someone just behind them. So I fear this is not the end of it, and there might be a couple of cars turn around somewhere as the lap goes on.
Oh, you predicted it nearly, and it is.
There happened. She goes.
And that's a Hankin Guven down to 8th position, nearly collects a car on the exit, but David Williams, Coyote was slowing down before the engine blew, so surely you didn't think that was the final lap.
Yeah, I'll try and see if I can get a replay of this after the race, but it was you called it as him slowing down before we actually heard the engine blowing.
Well then, final half a lap and it's all kicked off here. Jack Sedgwick, it looks like he's going to be odds on for the final spot on the podium then. And Alejandro Sanchez up to 4th position now. He was in about 7th place about 2 laps ago. Now 8 positions gained for the Iberian. He's definitely been in the thick of the action today. And then 5th is Maxime Brilliant. He was 7th at the start of the lap. And then Bruno Fontalba 8th. In 6th I should say, then Ozcan 7th and Pierre Leonardi in 8th. But here comes Joni Heikkinen through the final corner, going to take another win in the Porsche iRacing Cup. Up the hill he goes, checkered flag is at the ready, and the iRacing Porsche Cup at Road America does go to Joni Heikkinen. 2nd for veteran Krall, and 3rd is going to be Jack Sedgwick as long as he gets to the line. Up over the hill he goes. All plain sailing from here, and over the line he goes to take the final spot on the podium, but Guven is not going to take 4th. It's going to be Alejandro Sanchez who takes that 4th position. 8 positions gained for him, and also a driver that's gained 8 positions, Pierre Leonardi, who comes across the line to take 8th position after starting in 16th. Right, who else is running? Let's see. I think we've got everyone across the line now. Luka Petronic over the line. Jonathan Boutel, there he goes. He's going to finish in 17th place. Million Rue Alexandra going to come up the hill now and take what will be 18th place.
Yeah, it still
And
shows,
there you go.
still shows that David Williams out there. Oh no, he's back in the pits.
David Williams has just put in the iRacing chat that he actually thought it was the final lap. So even the pro drivers can get something like that wrong. Always remember that famous motorbike race clip on the internet somewhere of a driver winning, crossing the line and thinking he won the race and started celebrating before realising that it wasn't the final lap. Yeah, Conrad, he crossed the line, slowed down and blew the engine as well, and yeah, that cost him a podium here.
Yeah, I can think of one of our fellow Apex Racing UK members who I think it was gave away, I think it might have been an Indy win by thinking the race was over a lap early. So yeah, imagine that, 500 miles, well, not quite 500 miles, and then that goes down the drain.
How do you think drivers can do that? They obviously must have a lap counter on either their relative or something on their heads-up display. How do you think they could forget something like it not being the final lap?
I don't know. I suppose it's something similar to a jump start. You just get it in your head that this is the final lap, and you don't quite tweak what's going on, as you're so concentrating on what's going on in front of you or behind you, and just make an assumption. You just assume that what you're thinking is right, and then go with it.
Well, it certainly put pay to David Williams' race. Let's run you through the finishing order then from this latest race meeting in the Porsche iRacing Cup. Joni Heikkinen takes the win, then car 1 on pole position and won the race. Vedran Krall second, third for Jack Sedgwick, Alejandro Sanchez in 4th, Maxime Briant in 5th, 6th for Bruno Fontalba, 7th Fevzikan Oskan, and then 8th is Pierre Leonardi, another of the biggest movers through the field. 9th, Dimitri Gorski, and then 10th is Hankin Guven after spinning at turn 5 on the final lap of the race after trying his best to hold back that train. 11th for Sindre Setsas, 12th for Oriol Bohe, 13th for Kim Eriksson, 14th for Jorge Blascavels. Petteri Kotavara started at the back of the grid and managed to climb to 15th by the end. Luka Petronic in 16th, 17th for Jonathan Boutel, and then 18th, the last car running, Million Rue Alexandra. And then one lap down, David Williams, thinking it was the final lap of the race, 1 lap early, and blew the engine to go with it as well, so he couldn't get round back to the finish, and finishes 19th, 1 lap down. Tommy Ostergaard, problem for him. He got hit twice at turn 5 and put pay to his race, the Apex Academy driver. And Martin Smith and Joseph Burton Harris both out very early on. Burton Harris involved in that first corner mayhem. Right then, I don't think we've got any drivers in the interview room, so I think we can wrap things up here. Tomorrow is the next instalment of the BSR Formula Renault series here on Apex Racing TV. Quickly check where the championship is heading. Thursday, of course, BSR TC race night as well. The Porsches and the BSR TC at it again. Conrad, were you racing last week? Where we were at? Where were we at again? We were at Barber Motorsports Park. How did you get on around there?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. I was away on a holiday for a little bit. Went for a seaside holiday, so I missed Barber, but I'll be back for Donington that we've got this week coming around.
It is just looking on the calendar. 27th of, well, it says Motegi, however, yeah, the Porsches will be at Donington, so they're splitting the race meeting up. I think it might even be the Motegi Oval, so maybe that's why they're splitting the Porsche, sending the Porsches off to Donington Park. But yeah, one of my favourite circuits on the iRacing service, so be good to watch. And just for overviews, Tuesday the Formula Renaults will be at Suzuka. That's definitely going to be one to watch. Cars racing around one of the most challenging circuits in the world. But yeah, my thanks to Conor Venter for joining me in the commentary box and on the cameras as well. And yeah, Conor, best of luck for Thursday in the Porsches. But yeah, from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, well done to Joni Heikkinen. Does it again here at Road America. From all of us here, good night.